Welcome to the fourth segment in my myth-busting video series. I'm Robert Scheinfeld, and in this particular video, I'd like to talk about another popular success technique that's called visualization. Now, like the other things I've talked about in the myth-busting series, most success systems, particularly ones that you will learn in mainstream, popular, self-help, personal growth, whatever you want to call it, systems, from the esoteric to the mainstream, will talk about visualization as being something of a magic bullet, a very powerful technique that is virtually guaranteed in one way, shape, or form to get you what you want if you do it right. And so let's take a look at visualization here. Once again, I got to start with the fact that if you look closely and honestly and objectively, visualization, like all of the other popular self-help techniques, fails more than it succeeds. If you really look and you really are honest at your own life, or if you could look at the lives of other people, which I have done, and you say, okay, all these people tried to produce all these results using visualization. Here's how many attempts there were, so to speak. How many of these things actually manifested from the visualization technique? What you find out is very, very few. But we selectively delete out the fact that it fails most of the time, and we focus on the times when it succeeds, and then we say, oh, visualization is this super-powered, wonderful technique, and it can really help you to get what you want, except it fails more often than it succeeds. Now, let's take a look at the basics of visualization. In one way, shape, or form, the instructions are set a goal, set a target, decide on something that you really want, create a picture of what it would look like if you had that particular thing that you wanted. And then in general, and you may have discovered something slightly different than this, but in general, you close your eyes or you do whatever you're going to do and you focus on that picture with as much enthusiasm and excitement and positive emotion as you possibly can. And if you see this picture over and over and over and over and over again in your mind with the added oomph of the emotion, you will drive it into manifesting in your experience by just looking at the picture. Except it just doesn't work that way. And I shared with you first that if you really look, it fails more than it succeeds. But it's more than that at the core of why it fails more than it succeeds. And it comes back to something that I shared in the other videos in the myth-busting series that you may have seen. And if you haven't, I strongly invite you to look wherever it is that this video came from into your experience and go through the others in the series. But what's most important is if you look at visualization and you look at the core concept of it, which is you create a picture, you focus on the picture, add the emotion in it, you. It's all presupposing that there's power here, that there's power here. And what I've discovered through my journey of multiple decades, through the self-help world, the personal growth world, from the most way out esoteric to the most mainstream, and my own experience in knowing some of the most successful and powerful and wise and brilliant self-help teachers that are out there, is that is not where the power is, even though we are taught that and we believe that and we would like to believe that, although there are various other things that attribute power elsewhere. But when you're focusing on visualization, the assumption is you got the power here in your visioning, in your imagining, in order to be able to create these things. And the truth with capital T's, as I see it, and as I invite you to consider, is this is not where the power is. The real power is behind the scenes in another aspect of your consciousness. There is a true creative process with a capital T for true, a capital C for creative, and a capital P for process. That is what is really determining what happens to you. And it's behind the scenes. It is out of your conscious awareness. And when it appears that you focus on a picture using visualization and something manifests, it's because this other aspect of your consciousness and this true creative process had as a goal or a target for you to experience that particular thing. And so in a sense, and I could go a lot more into this except we don't have time in this short video, this other aspect of yourself and the true creative process says, let's unfold a story where it appears that this person looking at the picture over and over and over with the emotional oomph created it. But it's not the looking at the picture. It's not the emotions. It's the true creative process that's behind the scenes, that's the true source of everything that you're experiencing, that is creating whatever was in that picture and making it manifest. And the reason that visualization fails so often, just like goal setting and the law of attraction and so many other self-help techniques I'll be talking about in the other videos in this myth-busting series, fail, is because we kind of pluck out of the sky something that we think would be good for us, something that would really improve our life, that would change or fix a problem or whatever it is. We then take this formula, which is create a picture, focus on the picture over and over and over and over again, add the emotional oomph into it over and over and over because we think from our limited conscious perspective that this would be good for us. But more often than not, where that picture came from, where that want came from, isn't in alignment with what's going on from behind the scenes, what I call mission and purpose that we all come into this life with, and isn't what this other aspect of your consciousness really wants to create for you as part of that mission and purpose. And this part of you knows what that is and uses, in a sense, the true creative process to bring the experiences that really align with your mission and purpose into your experience and not the ones that aren't. So the real power is behind the scenes, not in the visualization, not in what you're doing here using a technique. And once you can acknowledge this, and you can shift your focus away from trying to push things, in a sense, into your experience, trying to change, fix, and improve things, you shift your focus from that to gaining more and more of an awareness and an alignment with and a communication with, however you want to look at it, this other aspect of yourself. And in doing so, to be able to get in touch with the true creative process, everything as a natural flow, because it's coming from here, not from here, begins to transform naturally in radical ways. And I've discovered a very unique way to be able to do this, to be able to let go of wanting to drive the bus from here, which is an illusion and it doesn't really work that way, and being able to move into alignment with the true creative process and the other aspect of your consciousness and mission and purpose that are what's really driving everything that happens to you. So to find out more about that, what I call the busting loose or the phase 2 work, simply look beneath this video and there should be a link to my site, or if there isn't, you can go to robertscheinfeld.com, ROBERTSCHEIN, F like Frank, ELD.com, and you'll get more information on going much more deeply into everything that I just shared with you.